Hello, and how you doing? Welcome to Grid Smart Systems by ZLG. Today I want to show you a presentation based on the EA, which is the Grid Ultimate EA VIP, which we have created. Welcome everybody, and as I do this presentation, feel free to reach out in case of any clarification you may want on the product, and I am grateful. So, as we begin, why is grid trading so popular? The answer is easy because it works in the kind of markets we see most of the time. Markets don't trend non-stop. Most of the time they move up, they move down, and then they come back. Basically up and down, up and down, up and down. Markets rarely move in one direction continuously. Hence, grid trading takes advantage of this behavior. It is in light of this that instead of trying to predict the markets for a perfect entry, with this system we allow traders to work with the price movement itself. We work with the price movement, not with candle structures and all the other. I'm not saying or disputing any other strategies out there. I just think that arithmetic trading based on how price moves is much more articulated or better for performance based on the results that we're going to review today. And that's why so many traders are attracted to grid systems, which is a good thing anyway. But here's the other side of the story, and this is where things get a little bit interesting for most people. The narrative that you've been sold or that you have experienced is that grid trading has a reputation. You've probably heard it before. Grid systems blow accounts. That's what you've heard. They work until they don't, for most people. So how do we solve this problem? And honestly, the reputation did not come from nowhere. Many grid systems focus on one thing and one thing only: opening trades. They keep adding positions. They don't ask any important questions like, what happens if the market doesn't come back? Or what happens when we are in extreme drawdown? And such. That is why most grid strategies fail. Not because grid trading is bad, but because risk control is missing. So the real problem, let me deal with the problem first. So the real problem isn't grid trading itself. The real problem is how grid trading is managed. So until this point, you can get a clear picture of what I'm trying to say. Our system manages the grid trading system. It is easy to implement, hard to manage. So how do we solve this management problem? And that's exactly the idea behind Grid Ultimate VIP. This expert advisor was not created to chase fast profits. If you're here for an overnight success of flipping accounts, this is not the AA for you. This one is made strictly with one main goal in mind: survival first. We want our accounts to survive. I would rather get a 50% or an 80% ROI annually as opposed to a flipping overnight, using the grid system, which is easy to understand and easy to implement. Because in real trading, staying in the market long enough matters more than anything else. So for me, why grid trading works and why we pursue this path of this EA is because markets rarely move in a straight line. We recognize the directional pauses and reverses, and we want to take advantage of each and every step. Price often retraces or pauses in every cycle. Every day the price is not trending from morning to evening. No, it has a curve to itself, and those retracements are what we take advantage of. The grid trading captures natural market swings, manage multiple positions and volatility instead of betting on only one breakout. So instead of having one move, one bullet, and saying today it's a loss, today it's a win, we try to trade like institutions, CTA systems, which of course this system is based on. So even institutions, or if you're willing to trade on a mathematical or arithmetic results, this is the system for you. Now, the problem with traditional grid systems: they focus on entry, not survival. It's all about how much money can you get too quickly out of the system. This is not it. This is simple building of positions. We build into a position and we build out of the position. The other problem is that most grid systems have unlimited position building. They just open trades until your account is blown. There is no way for you to mitigate the risk. With this system, we solve that problem. The second one is accounts. The third one, sorry. Accounts get wiped out during strong trends, during NFP, CPI news. With the grid system that does not know how to mitigate the exposure, you get blown out easily because of being too much exposed to a certain currency or to a certain market. This one solves that problem. Then we have unchecked averaging and pyramid raising, raise the tail risk. Compounding positions amplify losses. In a trend, let's say you have a bias today, the market is going to buy. So you keep on buying. And instead of buying all day, during a certain news event it sells. So you had not prepared for such an event. With the grid systems, the basic ones, they bring you a lot of risks with them. Which brings me to the next point, where risk caps are essential. You need to manage how much money you're willing to lose before you make money. By the end of the day, this is a risk survival system. I'd rather get $1 a day from a system than lose $100 from an account using too much exposure. Management is the real problem. The real problem is how grid trading is managed, and this is what we solve using our grid system. In light of this, so now that we understand why grid trading needs better risk control, let's talk about what grid ultimate VIP is. What is this EA that you're about to purchase or that you're about to indulge in? This is an automated MT5 EA for structured retracements and manage exposure of your systems or of your trade. One, it is professional, meaning that it can be applied to a CTA system. Let's say you're operating in a high frequency market, it can work. And it can also work for a retail trader who just wants to trade from your laptop or from your computer. It can also work. It is mitigated to handle both forms of frequencies. It is an automated grid system with risk control, meaning that we have systems in place, to which I will discuss later, where we mitigate the amount of exposure, the amount of risk, the amount of stop loss amounts that we have, and all this in one basket, which ensures that we are trying to come out of the market with a profit, or at least with a break-even, but we avoid losses. And then we also optimize for major Forex pairs. You cannot, okay fine, it can be used with exotic pairs, but based on our back testing, the major currency pairs due to volatility are the best for a grid system. You can build it out of positions and into positions easily due to volatility and market fills. Then you also focus on structured retracement, not breakouts. Here we do not deal with, no offense to anybody by the way, if you're out there, we do not deal with fair value gaps, order blocks and all those other kind of systems. Here we deal with arithmetic, meaning we're looking at orders and how they flow. So we structure into a system with a grid. If I'm buying at a certain price, after what price do I add into the system? At what point do I withdraw from the system? Based on the market data. Which is better because it's an arithmetic system, meaning that there is no emotions. It's all based on the math and the probability of the math working out, which is much more better. We recommend that you test it before you go to the live system so that you get to understand the ins and outs of the system. And this EA is for the patient trader. I repeat, this EA is for the patient trader. If you're here for an overnight success, this is not it. This is a multi-level management system that is created to avoid exposure, unlike other grid systems out there. So even in the results that we're going to show, it's not one straight line like most grid systems have. Why? Because we have our own mitigation systems. So now that we understand why grid trading needs to be better risk control, let's talk about our system. The Grid Ultimate VIP is fully automated expert designed for MetaTrader, but more importantly, it's a grid system that was built with real trading conditions in mind. The EA does not try to predict the market. It does not chase breakouts and does not depend on perfect timing. Instead, it works on natural behavior of the markets. Designed to trade range-friendly and mean-reverting markets. The kind of markets where the price moves away, pauses, then comes back. And that is the key point. Please put that in mind. We trade range-friendly and mean-reverting markets, where price moves away, pauses, then comes back, which is all prices in the world. That is how price moves. I have never seen price move in one straight bar. It's from Monday to Friday, it's a green bar all the way through. No, it always has a retracement back. And those minor retracements is what we take advantage of. And this is a key point. Rather than opening random trades in all directions, the EA trades in one clear direction at a time, either buy or sell, depending on the buyers on the external outlook of the market and the selected strategy and market conditions. As the price moves against that position, the EA builds a structured and controlled grid. The goal is not to win immediately. I repeat, the goal is not to win immediately. I'm sure most of you buy EAs with the goal of you want to get in and out of the market with profits. This is not it. The goal is not to win everything today. The goal is to win in the long run, in a year or in a quarter that we have a profit. Okay, then as the price moves against the position, so we build a structured and controlled grid. The goal is to patiently wait for a retracement, then manage the entire group of trades together. So we manage all the groups, all the trades together, but we can close individually on partial close systems, which I will get into, which is into this system. And we can also rebalance the negative trades, which I will get into. So this makes this system calmer, more disciplined, and easy to control. The Grid Ultimate VIP is optimized for major Forex currency pairs, where liquidity is high and price behavior is more predictable. So at its core, the EA is not about aggressive trading. In simple terms, it's about controlled exposure, smart positioning, and long-term consistency. So if you're in for the ride, you're looking for a system that is controlled, you don't want no stress, nobody, you just don't want everything smooth, you just want a smart positioning system, long-term consistency, this is it for you. And I welcome you, by the way, in the course of this system. If you decide to purchase the system, well, thank you. And if you want to pursue other systems, please feel free to reach out. I'll leave my links below for Telegram, email. Just feel free to comment, reach out. We can also collaborate on systems or ideas that you have. I'm open. And let's move on. So, based on the idea that I've built for you, the philosophy behind this system, let us get on to the first ideology which I pursued, which is survival first. Protect the account to unlock gains. I'm gonna let that sink in. We are going to protect the account to unlock the gains. So the first step is just protecting. Now let's talk about the most important idea behind Grid Ultimate VIP, and honestly the idea that shaped everything else in this system. Survival comes first. The market is a forest. If you've been in it for the shortest time, you know you get money in, you get money out, and it's brutal. So we need to get armor on ourselves. We survive first. In trading, it's easy to focus on profits. It's exciting. It's what everyone talks about. I made this amount of money, I flipped this, I flipped that. Enough with that nonsense. Here we're here to protect our accounts. But professional trading starts with a different question. And the question I want all of us to ask ourselves as we buy this system is this. How do we stay in the market long enough to get our strategy to work? It's that plain, clean and simple. How do we stay in the market long enough to let our strategy work? Many grid systems are built around entries. They focus on how often they trade, how fast they open positions, how quickly they can recover losses, but they often ignore what happens when the market simply keeps moving in one direction. That's when accounts get into trouble. Grid Ultimate VIP was designed with that exact scenario in mind. Instead of assuming the market will always come back, the EA assumes the opposite. Basically, we work with inversion mentality. We assume the worst and hope for the best. And with that strategy, that means the first thing you do is protect your capital, then from there look for profits. Simple, clean, easy. I am a believer of simple systems. If you cannot define an idea on a napkin, then just leave it. You don't have to sound too complex to make money out of the markets. No, keep it simple. We're here to protect capital first, then get profits. It might not be too much profit, but it's profit nonetheless. And accumulated profit is what compounds. But you can only compound profits from capital that is protected. With any other system out there, if there are systems that do this, well and good. If there are systems that don't, stay away from them. So, we survive over profits. That is our priority. Then we have configurable drawdown capitalization, which I will get into. Instead of assuming the market will always come back, so we assume the opposite. What if it doesn't come back? When a system is prepared for the worst case, normal market conditions become much easier to handle. This is why Grid Ultimate VIP focuses on controlled exposure, not unlimited position building. It focuses on risk limits, not blind recovery, and it treats drawdown as something to be managed, not ignored. So we want to manage our drawdown. We configure it. How much are we willing to lose, or not exactly lose in terms of losses, but what is our exposure to these markets? Let's say you have your account of $1,000. How much do you want to be exposed today in this market? Is it $50? Is it $100? Is it $250? You first of all define exposure even before you define the loss. This is 101 of risk management. Define drawdown. Once you define your drawdown exposure, and for you to do this, you must know how to calculate margin and average and leveraging using the system or using your broker. Please, if you don't know how to do this, we can guide you through this system, but that is what you define first. If you, let's say you're willing to lose, or not to lose, to expose yourself 25% of your account, meaning you're working with 25% of that account. No more, no, it might be less, which is a good thing, but no more. At 25%, we close everything and we head out. That's it. It focuses on risk limits, not blind recovery, and treats drawdown as something to be managed, not ignored. Philosophy is simple, but powerful. Survival first. If a system survives bad periods, it naturally benefits from good periods. It's easy. So that's why we use position sizing discipline. We limit the lot size per trade to control the exposure and pick through loss. So basically, we have a mindset of survival. We configure how much we are exposing ourselves to a certain trade. Then from there, we decide how many positions we're going to take and when and at what point, so that we maintain that exposure. In the event, even if the market goes against us, we are still within the brackets of the exposure. Over time, that approach leads to a smoother performance, calmer decision making, and a much better trading experience. So if you're looking for something smooth, something curved, something, you can trade with a cup of coffee next to you, not shouting and grinding, this is it. Because you've defined your brackets, you've already set up the walls, now we trade within the walls. So we say this EA is designed for long-term trading. We truly mean it. Grid Ultimate VIP is not trying to win every trade. It's trying to protect the account first and let consistency do the rest. Please, I do beg of you. If you do not want to look for consistency, stay away. Here we are chasing consistency. That's it. We do not want overnight success, manipulated outcomes, I don't know, crazy ROIs of 1,000%. No, this is not it. Here we're just looking for consistent trading. Okay, because in trading you don't need to be perfect, you just need to survive. The best traders survive in the markets. If you go into the market this year with an algorithm that is set up and that makes you 50% annually, you're better off than somebody who brags of getting 100% in 3 months, then loses it all the 4th month. Here we don't do that nonsense. We just want to be consistent. Sorry if I sound offensive to anybody, but that's what we've built on. Then we have defensive exit rules. What does this mean? This means that we have a system. Let's say we have defined our exposure today as 10%. And out of that 10%, it's $1,000. That means after our calculation within the entire buyers of the day, we can open maybe 3 or 4 grids. Right, 3 or 4 grid levels. So if the first level goes against us, we start exercising the defensive exit rules. How do we cover the first level while at the same time maintaining a grid position, either to break even or to close out of the trade with minimum exposure in terms of losses or with a profit? So we automate stops and we have rules to prevent catastrophic losses. Sorry, my bad, my voice is a bit crampy. Then, as I keep on insisting, patience preserves optionality. Surviving drawdown keeps the ability to compound gains later. And I think if you're going to save something from this entire presentation, let this be the picture of any system out there. You first of all survive. That means thereby, how do you survive? By protecting or by defining your drawdown. Then you establish your positions, and you always calculate in the event it goes against you, how much are you willing to lose? In the event it goes towards you, how much profit will you make? Have that picture in mind. Then you define your exit rules. At what point? Let's say I'm looking for just $1. Sorry, I'm about the airplanes around. Let's say I'm looking for $1 today from the markets. If I hit $1, do I continue staying in the market in grid, or do I just step out and move? Define your exit rules. If my maximum loss today is $10 and it gets hit maybe within the first second, do I stay in the market to try again, or do I just move along? Define your exit rules. But by all means, please exercise patience and preserve your optionality by being consistent. Now that is said and done, I want to move now to the meat of this system. How this logic works. Plain, clean, simple. You've seen this everywhere, you've heard it, you've come across it, but let's just go through it. So you select the direction. Do you want to buy? Do you want to sell? Let me get into detail. Now that we've talked about the philosophy, let's look at how the grid logic actually works in practice. I'll keep this simple. Grid Ultimate VIP trades in one clear direction at a time, either a buy or a sell. Never both at the same time. We're not gambling. Okay? We're using one system, we go on with it, we manage it. So never both at the same time or on the same chart. We do not buy and sell on the same chart, no. This keeps the system focused and controlled. Once the initial trade is open, the EA does not chase that price. Instead, it waits. It is a waiting game. If the market moves in the expected direction, great. Profits are managed normally. But if the market moves against the position, that's where the grid logic comes in. As price moves against the trade, the EA begins to place additional positions at predefined distances. Each new trade is part of a structured grid, not random, not emotional, not illogical, not based on some sightings or wicks or curves, nothing. It is based on a systematic, structured, arithmetic, calculated grid. The goal here is not to fight the market. The goal here is to build a better average price profit. We are looking to bank some money. So we take it at a slower pace, but at a better pace. Now here is the key idea behind grid trading, and especially behind this system. Markets rarely move in a straight line. I keep on repeating that. Even during strong moves, price often pauses, retraces, and corrects, and we take advantage of it. It's designed to take advantage of retracements. Instead of closing trades one by one, the EA looks at the entire group of positions and manages it all together. When the market retraces enough and it reaches its profit target, the EA manages to exit in a controlled way. This approach removes a lot of stress. There is also another form of closure where we manage the highest losing position with other gaining positions while maintaining the current positions in the market that are favorable to continue running, meaning we don't have excessive drawdown. There is no need to predict tops or bottoms. There is no panic when price moves temporarily against the position. Everything is rule-based, structured, and planned in advance. So rather than reacting to every price movement, Grid Ultimate VIP patiently waits for the market to do what it often does naturally. Retrace. All markets retrace. It does not matter. In a bull market, in a bear market, it's like saying all candles are straight. No, they have wicks the same way. Those wicks of retracements is what we are capitalizing on. And market moves either way in either direction. Of course, not all markets behave the same way, and that's why grid spacing itself needs to adapt, and which is what I will talk about next. So, in a run through, you select a direction, it opens initial position. If it goes to a profit, well and good. If it goes against you, we start placing grid levels. At the same time, we monitor the entire buckets, track the aggregated exposure, and the average entry price. This is very important. Let me define these baskets in more detail. A good example, let's say your balance is 1,000, and as we are building the grid, we have profits taken and losses managed, and let's say by the end of the day, your balance reads 2,000, but your equity reads 1,100. What does that mean? That means that we can close all positions and we will go home with $100 profits, right? Because our equity was 1,100 from a starting balance of 1,000, despite the balance being, the official balance being 2,000. Why can we have a balance that is higher than the equity? Because we have losses that have been managed. So all system calculates closed position first without calculating the actual remaining losses. This one calculates that. It is also built on equity. That's why I'm saying we're looking for profit out of the markets. However small, but we are scratching for it. Then we close the retracement, we close on retracement, or we can even close on multiple profit levels, depending on your exposure, or depending on your appetite. Let me put it that way. So, of course, not all markets behave the same, and that's why the grid spacing itself needs to adapt. Let's talk about volatility and ATR. Sorry, a sip of tea. So, we all know volatile markets are the best, because here, this is where we get our money. Let me go through it. Now, here it's an important question. Should a grid behave the same way in a calm market as it does in a fast volatile market? This is a question that most people who have grid system never ask. How do you want your grid to behave? And we have addressed this. And the answer normally is that, when we have calm markets, we have different grids. When we have volatile markets, we have different grids. And this is exactly where volatility-adaptive grid spacing comes in, which our system has implemented. So what is this volatility-adaptive grid spacing in general terms? It includes an optional feature where you use something called ATR, average true range. And the idea is simple. It measures how much the market is moving. When the market is calm, the ATR is low. When the market becomes fast and volatile, the ATR increases. Instead of using fixed grid distances all the time, the EA can adjust the spacing automatically based on current market volatility. So what does that mean in real trading? When the market is calm, the grid stays tighter and efficient. Let's say you're used to trading UJ and most time it's calm in the market. So using this system, you just have the set files which we will provide when you purchase, where the grid is much more calm and easy and efficient and it's tight. When the market has a lot of volatility, for the gold lovers out there, or Bitcoin, or during news who like to trade NFP and CPI, sudden moves in the market, when we have unstable conditions, the grid spacing becomes wider so that you can limit your exposure. We just want to get money out of the market. That's the entire deal. Many grid systems fail because they keep opening trades too close together during high volatility. If you've tried any grid system out there, you have seen this with so many of them, where even when you back tests, when you have a certain volatility gap, you find your system has opened 30, 40, 50 trades. This is not it. So this one adjusts. Let's say we are opening 5 trades, it will be 5 in calm systems. It just calculates based on how the market is moving. And that is where we are using the ATR. I think it's the best indicator in the world. The average true range. It just gives you an average true range of maybe the last, if you're trading on the daily, the last few days, on the hourly, the last few hours, like that. On the 4 hour, on the 15 minutes. This system works on any time level, which also brings me to the point where, depending on the time frame you choose to trade this grid system, it will affect how much or how many levels are opened, or how many grid levels are opened within that entire grading framework. Easy does it. So let me use easy language. It's in the morning, London session. You want to trade Euro USD. Your ATR is indicating we are doing around 50 pips for the last 14 bars. Okay, so that means my exposure is within the range of 50 pips. Then I add my average true range level that I want to risk today. So maybe I'm giving myself a space or a zone of trading of 100 pips. So the system will calculate when and where to place those grids systems automatically to maintain your exposure, your defined exposure. And let's say my exposure is 10%. My account is $10,000. I want to risk 10%. I want to risk $1,000. So I have defined what is it I'm trading. Euro USD. It's London session. Okay. What space of trading is this? Maybe I'm trading in a zone of 100 pips. That's it. And I'm willing to risk, or I'm exposing myself to $1,000. Good. So now the system starts working with the grid, opening trades within a grid system to manage that $1,000 and also to try and get profits within that $1,000 and within that zone. Hence why we call it volatility-adaptive grid. It is a fancy term for just saying we just do things in a smarter way, in a calmer way. When market is not moving up and down so much, our grid systems adapt. When it's jumping all over, it adapts so that we can get profits. Calm market, tighter grid. More orders captured around the mean price, higher exposure per distance, clustering when noise appears. Volatile markets, wider spacing, fewer orders, reduced correlated losses, and settings across volatility regimes and pair characteristics. Now all these settings are in the backbone of the inputs of the AA. Once you purchase it, we will send you set files for our best configurable currencies, which from the results we have shown you, we have USD CAD, we have Euro USD. For those who want the JPYs, we also have such set files. For those who are looking for gold and other volatility, we have set files for each loss and risk appetite. So we will send them to you. So feel free to reach out. It doesn't force trade, it adapts. The market changes and the grid changes with it. It's that simple. So this entire slide and can be summarized as the market changes and the grid changes with it. Now, let us get to some sweet music called advanced risk protection. Why do we have advanced risk protection? Now, let's talk about something every serious trader cares about: risk protection. No matter how good a strategy is, there will be always periods when the market doesn't cooperate. Grade Ultimate VIP includes multiple safety systems to protect the accounts. The first is maximum drawdown limit protection. It monitors your account continuously. If drawdown reaches a predefined limit, the AA closes all open positions automatically. Basically, that's a simple way of saying we have a handbrake. Just like every car has a parking brake. We are willing to go so far as long as we survive first. Get it? It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't wait. It doesn't hope the market will change. No. It's all arithmetic. This is a last resort safety system designed for extreme situation, but it's incredibly important. Let me just emphasize this. We're here to survive. I keep on repeating this before you reach out. Know that you're buying a survival system. You're not buying a flipping system. Okay. Another layer is the optional stop loss per trade. Of course, with most grid systems, we have people who prefer to trade without stop loss. Others trade with stop loss. Based on your appetites, you can use this optionally, but we also have a system where we can optimize your stop losses, either as a basket of trades or as for individual trade, depending on whatever you choose. You can enable it to add stricter limits to each position. Together, these protections make sure that risk is never unlimited. Grid Ultimate VIP doesn't assume the market will always come back. It prepares for the possibility that it won't. We prepare for the worst and hope for the best. These safety systems are not designed to often trigger. They are there when needed. They are a nice safety feature to have. So we combine basket caps with per trade stops. That I've said, you can define either your stop loss as a hard stop loss for each trade, or maybe it's a different price level that you are acclaimed to. Or also we can have a now smart system where you can have a stop loss for a basket of trades within the grid systems, just to help you survive much more better. We should also have a trailing stop system, which I will get into. Not just the normal trailing, but a structured price and profit management system, which is within the system, and I will get to in the next slide. Okay, we'll try and lock out rules after auto closure. So everything here is rule based. We know the cool down market sessions, we know the volatility sessions, we know when market starts, how it starts, so on and so forth. How do we manage it? It has the systems to manage all that. We protect capital at all costs, and as I always say, good systems know when to stop. As with everything in life, you come into a bar, you walk into a bar, you want a drink, you just don't go saying hi to every single lady. You first of all compose yourself. If you're told no, you move on. Same way, good systems know when to stop. They know when to put a handbrake on it, and that is what we are going to do with this system. Now, what is this basket profit management system? Now let's get to know its entirety of this profit management system as I have put it. Instead of looking at trades one by one, the EA looks at all open positions together. Sorry. This is called basket level profit management. You have heard it before, it's not a new term, but I will explain it in layman's language. You start trading with $1,000. Halfway through the trades, your balance reads you have 1,500. Your equity is 1050. That means if you close all trades, you have a profit of $50. So it's not necessarily based on balance, but it is based on equity. That is basket profit management in a nutshell, but it goes a bit deeper. Why is it important? Because grid trading, individual trades don't tell the full story. What matters is the combined result of the entire grid. The AA continually monitors the total floating profits. When the basket reaches a predefined profit target, the AA doesn't just close everything instantly. This is not one of those systems where when you get something, it just closes, chop, all of a sudden. No. I'll give you a good example. You have 4 trades. You open the first one, it goes in a drawdown of 10. You open a second one, it goes in another drawdown. You open the third one. By the time you're opening the third one, the first trade has a drawdown of 3 times the level. Maybe it's at -30. That means the fourth trade, when you're opening, if it goes on a profit, we can use that to balance the highest exposure trade, the one that is in maximum loss. Basically, what I'm saying is, in a grid system, say you have 10 trades that are profitable and 10 that are in loss. We can use the profitable trades to balance off the highest losing trades, or at least minimize their contract sizes. Then we leave the mid-range trades still running if the system determines that it is still profitable to continue running them. That way we have minimized the exposure at the top, and at the same time we still have trades running. So it does not close all trades at once, no. It analyzes, but this is an option that you can choose, whether to close at once or to use the smart system to analyze. The EA continuously monitors total floating profits. When the basket reaches at the predefined profit target, the EA doesn't just close everything instantly. It can use basket trailing mechanism. If the market continues to move in your favor, the profit grows. If it starts to pull back, gains are locked in and in a controlled way. So that is a point to note. If the market continues to move in your favor, the profit grows and it continues locking in profits. If it starts to pull back against you, gains are locked in a controlled way. Now let's talk about partial close technology, which is what I've been defining. But before we go on, I want you to understand this, that it monitors all trades together. Then we have a level profit target. Maybe you're targeting $10 today, $100 today. Nothing excessive, but it will also give you a preferable target based on market conditions. Then we capture profit continuously and gradually. It's not one abrupt silver bullet, no, it's gradual. So the whole picture of management is based on all trades, not on a single trade or not on a single short. It enables locking gains on retracements without closing all positions. So, our partial close technology, what is this? Rather than closing the entire grid at once, the EA can gradually reduce exposure by closing selected winning and losing positions together. This is what I defined earlier. You use the profitable positions to balance off the extremely highly exposed positions, leaving the neutral positions to continue building and gain you some profits. Partial closes help stabilize equity, reduce risk, and allow the grid to breathe. The result is a smoother performance, better controlled, and more professional trading experience. It is not about closing trades, it's about managing the whole picture. For those who have been exposed to futures trading on a flow market or trading on stocks on a flow market, when a CTA system is actuated in the morning when market opens, we have a ton of algorithmic trades that happens, and it is unidirectional bias. It can be a buy, it can be a sell, but the main goal is to manage the positions that are opened. Hence why we have this gradual or partial close technology, which most institutions use out there. Actually, all of them use it. If you implement this in your trading strategy, meaning every single time you're either limiting your exposure in terms of losses, or you're limiting your positions in terms of profit. Instead of doing $100 with a position that will take you 10 hours, you can do $10 with a position that takes you less than that, by managing the losing positions with the gaining positions. So we have a gradual exposure reduction. close positions of the basket over time to reduce exposure. Then we have paired wins and losses closed. So we use one profit to close off a losing position, or we build a winning position to get more profit out of it. So you close selected winning and losing trades together to stabilize the equity. It also stabilizes your equity curve. Partial closes smooth drawdowns without exiting all positions at once. We lock in our profits and then we stick to our rules. Partial close, look for profit. It's a good day, have a good day, we meet tomorrow. That's it. We are looking for consistency. It's not about closing trades, it's about managing the whole picture in detail. So what filters do we have in place that will enable this to work? Basically, let's talk about when not to trade. At what point am I advising you to keep your hands off? Good trading systems don't just know when to enter, they also know when to stay out. The first filter is spread control. We have a lot of fishy brokers out there. I won't mention names, you know them, just check them out. Spreads can widen suddenly during news and low liquidity. If the spread is too high, the EA won't open new positions. It's simple, clean and easy. So you can get the system, yes, but we also have preferred brokers, or you can get an ECN account. If it's a standard account, please check whether the spreads are within the market standard. We have brokers who exploit traders at a crazy rate. So when the system detects that we have extreme spread manipulation, it just notifies you like, hey, check out. The market conditions are in all that good. If you decide to move along with it, you just press OK, proceed. You decide to hold and use the smart system, you hold and we survive the market. Spread can widen also during news. During NFP, it might triple for standard accounts. Do you want to trade during this time? Do you want to stay out? There's this filter that we have put in place that you can navigate. The second filter is time control. Maybe you're a London fanatic or a USA time zone fanatic. When I'm using the word fanatic, because there are people who are like, if you don't trade in London, you won't get profit. Okay, no problem. We have a system for you. You can set the time, trade during London session. I'm using the word fanatic in quotes, and I don't mean to insult anybody because our system is arithmetic based. We do not look at sessions the same way other traders look at them. We look at volatility. Are there orders in the market? Is there a probability of them being filled? Yes, no. If yes, we trade. If no, we wait. That's it. But if you want to trade, let's say London session only, you can put in your time and it will only trade London. If you want to trade USA, the same. You want to trade Asia, the same. It's open. Not all trading hours are equal, so based on your preference, we have that filter for you. You can define specific hours when the EA can start new grids. It waits outside of those hours. These filters improves performance not by trading more but by avoiding trades, but also maybe your edge is in London session. So all the best. Which is the best thing? Which is the best way to get profits? By the end of the day, it's profit that matters. Sometimes the smartest trade is no trade at all. It's a holiday, it's Christmas, it's Eid al-Fitr, it's a celebration wherever you are in the world. You don't have to trade every day. Markets are not volatile every day, so it depends on what you want. But it assesses for you. You don't have to go digging in the trenches to know when it's best to trade. It assesses for you using these filters, using time, using the spread control, and it avoids low trading or low quality trading conditions. Maybe the market is in a very, very, very tight consolidation. It just stays out of it because there is no need for you to enter a market to gain losses. It is better to stay out and wait for an optimal position or optimal conditions depending on your risk appetite for you to get profits. Of course, we have the preferable settings that we will help you with setting up. But for most people, I'm afraid greed takes over common sense. If you're such kind of a person, let the system decide for you. Okay? You'd rather get $10 in a week than lose 1,000 in a day. Logic takes precedence in this system. That is why we have a system in the first place. So think of this one as your second hand to help you trade. It's not your golden ticket. No, it's an added advantage to your trading. Example, so no trades when the spread is over a threshold or during specific hours. I spend a lot of time speaking of spread because I've watched unregulated brokers do nasty stuff. You find one broker is doing maybe Euro USD, which is a currency that normally has very low spread of 1 to 2 pips, with some brokers even at different times 3 pips. Then you find an unregulated broker, the same currency, the same time, doing a spread of around 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips, which is crazy, and I've seen it. So please check your brokers. We have a lot of brokers that are renowned, that are good. Use the perfect broker for this. But don't worry, because all these filters are in the system, and you can also configure them based on your risk appetite. Now, having said that, let us get to the main reason of this system, which is money. So which markets are preferred in order to make money? So based on our back testing and our optimization settings of this system, the Grid Ultimate VIP is optimized for major Forex pairs: Euro USD, USD Swiss franc, Australian dollar, US dollar, British pound, US dollar, and US dollar Japanese yen. The majors, it works best with the majors. These pairs have high liquidity, they have tighter spreads, and ideal for grid trading. I'm not saying it can't work on reserve currencies, but these are the best performing based on our backtesting. Money management is flexible. You can use fixed lot sizes or progressive sizing depending on your risk appetite, but that feature is there. This makes the AA suitable for small, medium, and large accounts. It is designed for controlled, scalable growth, not aggressive leveraging. I've been insisting on survival, but we also have the setting. If you have a high risk appetite, the settings are there. You just tweak them and voila, you have a Ferrari. But it is designed as a Toyota system. Basically, it's made to get you where you want to go. It's designed for controlled, scalable growth, not aggressive. We do not over leverage. For users, this EA is perfect for traders who want a hands-free, structured trading approach. If you want to set something, set and forget, maybe periodically come and check how it's going on without it giving you too much pressure, this is it. If you're the kind of person who is looking for a 10, 20%, 30% ROI annually, this is it. Because it would rather take small profits over time than do a lump sum once, then lose a lump sum tomorrow. Beginners can use it conservatively. If you're a beginner in trading and you don't have the full know-how, technical know-how of the ins and outs of the market, this is the best one for you. You just plug it, play it, and it does not overexpose you, and it does not ride out your money into the market. Experienced traders can also customize settings for more control. If you're really experienced in what you're doing and you're exposed to CTA systems, maybe banking systems at a premium level, no problem. This is also adapted to that, because in banks we also check out other exposures. Maybe they are here for the day, the reverting closure, we have different pivot points, we have all this arithmetic behind banking trading. It also does that for you, but in a simplified language, because actually it's one and the same thing. Pip spread, we call it different in banking. Leveraging, we call it different in banking. The the margin exposure, different terms, yes, but the same thing. But it will manage it for you. So this system rewards patience, not pressure. If you want to the thrill of trading, this is not it. This is not for you. If you're looking for something that will make you just trade in a consistent way with a progressive growth and lower risk, this is for you. But you choose the risk tolerance and the account equity. You can choose either way. It can handle either way. It can handle the Ferrari guy, it can handle the donkey guy. And I don't mean that figuratively, but you get the point. But it is suitable for medium and small accounts, which is most or 90% of us traders in the retail markets. We recommend basketing per pair due to volatility. If that means if you decide you're trading Euro USD with the system, please stick to Euro USD, at least for the foreseeable future. Don't do skip, hop and jump. Don't do USD today, then tomorrow you do USD Swiss franc, then tomorrow. No. Of course you can do it if you want, but if for the best output, if your account has enough money to manage such exposure, good, you can try it. But please just follow one system and exercise it. As I keep on repeating, it's better $10 in a week than losing $1,000 in a day. Now, as I conclude, there are key takeaways that I want to check out. But before we move to that, let me look at the user profiles, either as a beginner or an experienced trader. For beginners, it is very easy to use because it is survival fast in terms of settings. You can try it in a demo account. It is hands-free, it is structured trading approach, and you can monitor it and adjust it regularly. Now, there are settings and set files that we only share with those who have purchased, because we have different varied settings for every market condition. So depending on where you are, of course, in the demo you might not get access to all the files, but once you've purchased, we will send you the entire zip files of set files. We will give you documentations on which ones we prefer you should follow based on your risk appetite and when to trade, when not to trade, all this. We also have a system for experienced traders. These are people who prefer to have a lot of technical terms, and I don't mean that as an insult, but anyway. Experienced traders, fully customizable filters with all your strategies, markups, margin, leverages, indicators, configurations. We also have it as an automated system, so you can go into it and optimize it. Maybe you need the sensitivity of your ATR to be 3.5 with it working at 14 bars for the 15 minute and 20 bars for the 1 hour with a 2.5 sensitivity. Yeah, experienced traders have a lot of technical know-hows, but as long as all traders profit from the market, it's a good day. I would be glad if you get the system and tell me this month I just made 4% or I made 10%. I'll be glad, because I know the system is working. Give it time, it works over time. It's for patient traders. Now, as I conclude in this, I want to insist, as we wrap everything up, that the Grid Ultimate VIP is not just another grid system. It's a professional grid EA built with risk control, adaptability and survival in mind. We're here to survive. So point number 1, survival first. Don't die the first day in the market. Learn the ropes. The markets have been here, you've met them, and once you're gone, they'll still be here. There's somebody who has been born today and they'll still make money in the markets 20 years from now. So please, survive first. Prioritize risk control and capital protection before profit, which is what our system is designed to do. Then we have an intelligent grid logic. We just don't open grids abruptly. No. It is adaptive depending on market conditions and depending on also on the settings that you place on those market conditions, as I predefined earlier. We might have somebody who has a test for a 3.5 sensitivity for an ATR of 14 bars, and we have somebody who has a simple definition of I just want to survive and get a little money out of it, maybe take partial profits of $1. So it's two different logics, same thing. It has all that into it. Those are input files that they can be structured within the system, and you let the EA ride. Then it is adaptive to market conditions. If you are an NFP trader, good for you. If you love trading the drill, good for you, it is there. If you love just to chill, it is there. But the system adjusts the grid for you to make sure that you survive. Then we have profit protection. We lock in profits as soon as they come in. This is not the kind of system where you've seen systems where you go you're 98% into profit and all of a sudden the market reverts and you lose that 98% profit back to a negative position. Now we go locking profits step by step, meaning by the end of the day you'll have locked in profits that will balance out your losses, either to a profitable position or at least to a break even. It might not be a very big profitable position, but profit is profit. Money is money, but it is painful when it runs away from you. And then we have flexible usability, suitable for all account sizes. It is user friendly for both beginners. We give you the set files, you set in. Maybe you're a beginner and you don't understand all the logics behind the different systems of balancing volatility and adaptability, and all you want is to set up a system that will give you profits and that trades London session. Easy, you can set it up for you. Maybe you're an institution who have taken this up and you're dealing with large capital and you want to know whether it controls your margin levels based on your ATR preferences. It's also there. Basically, it serves both places, experienced and unexperienced trader. And what did I have before I sign out? Oh yes, the bottom line. The Grid Ultimate VIP delivers a smarter, disciplined and safer approach to the grid trading. So we're trying to bring discipline to a system that people have abused. Grid systems, if you check even in the MQL5 market, they are some of the most expensive. I won't mention them by name, but it's the one and the same thing. We have free systems, we have very expensive systems. But the one thing that most of them shortfall of is management of capital. So this system solves that. We implement the system that is very famous, but we also try to make it the most manageable and pocket friendly. So it's all about consistency, consistent profits, control. You control how much exposure you're getting in yourself to, how much money you really, how much you're putting yourself on the line. You stay for how long you want to stay in the market, and you in this strategy, how is your risk appetite? It brings all that into one nutshell that can be simplified in 2 words: survive fast, which is why it's the first point and the last point right here. You need to survive fast. Very well. Having said that, I want to thank you, all of you, for watching this. For those interested in the Grid Ultimate VIP system, we welcome you. You can come try the system, use it on demo, maybe for a few days. Check out the settings. We have different settings for different systems. So when you're trying on the demo, you might get an array of inputs. You can contact us through our Telegram channel. I will leave, just go to this YouTube channel in the description. You will see the Telegram link. From there you can join the group, ask for the link, contact us directly. We'll give you settings for testing on the demo, and then you will see it. and then after full purchase we will send you the set files for our preferred markets. Having said that, we do not trade all markets using this system. As I've said, it is fine-tuned for major currencies. So if you're looking to trade, let's say, futures and other different varied markets, you can contact us and then we can do an optimization set file for you and send it to you. Either way, we are open to not only work with you but also support you in the implementation of the system. We also have a setup guide after installation to the recommended settings for those who want to purchase. Contact us through just the MQL5 platform and we will send them to you. No need for external. If you don't want external places, MQL5 is enough. Where you purchase, we can send you the files. We also have a direct email, as it was attached in our very first slide. As we get to it, we are zenetherlandsgaming@gmail.com, which is where you can get hold of us, or through our Telegram. And once you have that, you can come and get access to us and we can support you. Having said that, there is something I want to offer for those people who are willing to get their hands dirty. We are open to doing collaborations in terms of creating systems and growth. There is enough money in this world to go around. So if you have a system out there that you feel we can collaborate, so that we can help you with, both in creation and in management, feel free to reach out. Tell us about your system. We can help you. We can help each other. Maybe you know something we don't know, or I know something that you don't, and we can help each other. Here's our email address. You can check on the bottom right, zenetherlandsgaming@gmail.com. ZLG, Zenith Leverage Gains. But if you want things that are easier, just come to the Telegram and we will get hold of you. So if you're ready for disciplined, risk-aware grid trading EA, this is the EA for you. This is built to work with you patiently, intelligently, and safely. And by the end of the day, let's all make money. Thank you very much. Feel free to support me in any way that you may find. And I'm grateful either way. You've listened to this point. I'm really, really grateful. Thank you. May God bless you and see you on the next one. Thank you.